Welcome to Radical Self-Respect with Jared Mello. This is where I help people to learn how to practice radical self-respect, whether you're someone who's just gotten out of a relationship with a cluster B type person, narcissistic or borderline perhaps. I will help you put together the pieces, pick them up, and rebuild as a stronger, better version of yourself. And I call that version practicing radical self-respect. But on to today's video. I saw a woman post the other day about how she said, I think it was this to be exact. She said, "You're not a simp, bro. You're just being nice, and that's what a boyfriend is supposed to do." And she's confusing a couple concepts here that I see a lot of people confuse, but being nice is not what being a simp is. I always say to people, being a simp is a man who disrespects himself for women. That's what it is. And with that in mind, I want to give some examples of what being a simp looks like in a relationship. And it doesn't mean you can't do good things for a woman. You can. But these are the examples of what I think being a simp is in a relationship. Number one, a man who can't tell his girlfriend or wife no. This is a huge one, where a lot of guys will feel guilty when they say no, and they're people pleasers, and so they let the woman just get whatever she wants, when they really should be saying no in some cases. Now, of course, there will always be exceptions where you shouldn't say no, but if this is something that a guy consistently struggles with, not good. An example of being a simp. Number two, a guy who is consistently a pushover and lets his girlfriend or wife have her way. Now, a man, he should have a belief system, he should have values, and he should be able to be assertive when he has to. And that means sometimes like truly believing in what your thoughts are and what your opinions are. But if a guy always takes a back seat to the woman, that's an example of a man disrespecting himself, and I would call that simping as well. Number three, a guy who treats his woman like a celebrity and puts her on a pedestal. This is something that is never healthy to do, honestly. And some women may think they want this in the beginning, but oftentimes it can get pretty annoying and pretty old pretty fast. And the guy, when he's doing this, treating the woman like she's better than him, that is disrespectful for the man to be doing. And so it's not even good for either party to be doing that. And then number four, a man who ignores all other areas of his life for his woman. And this is something that no guy or woman should do, for that matter. Stephen Covey talks about in the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People that two independent people can come together and create a synergistic relationship where they are interdependent, meaning they can create and produce more together than they could have apart. Now, a guy that can't be independent, that's more dependency. And a man, he should have friends, he should keep up with his health, he should have hobbies, but we all know guys who have done this. They put all that stuff on the back burner in favor of a woman. That's another example of being a simp. But if you had to sum up all of these parts, a lot of them is this. It's a man who is afraid of his woman's emotions. That's the bottom line. They're afraid to make their woman angry. They're afraid that if they stand up for themselves, they'll leave. But all of those things, they're fear-based. And it's the quote-unquote misnomer of what a nice guy is. Nice is none of those things, right? Nice is you're doing something from a place of wholeness and without the expectation of something in return. That's what being nice would be. But those examples I just mentioned, that's what being a simp is. And men should certainly try to avoid that at all costs. Now, disclaimer, there are women out there that they want to find a guy that they can control. And they want to find a guy that will just do as he's told. And these are the women that you see that are wearing the pants in a relationship. They're the masculine, and they're in charge. We all have seen that too. And so to avoid this fate, gentlemen, avoid simping. Because some women, that's what they're looking for. They're vetting for the guy who's going to do that a little bit. And that's the guy they're going to try to marry and have that guy basically almost be a servant, for lack of a better word. And this is why practicing radical self-respect will repel those kinds of women. The women who wear the pants and who are in their masculine, often they wouldn't know what to do with a guy that practiced radical self-respect and stood his ground. Honestly, they would butt heads a lot, and the guy that practiced radical self-respect would not deal with it for long. So to reiterate what being a simp looks like in a relationship: not being able to say no, being a pushover / people pleaser, always giving in to her, treating her like a celebrity, and ignoring all other areas of your life in favor of her. And to sum it up again, it is a man who is afraid of his woman's emotions, afraid to make her unhappy, afraid to make her angry. That's ultimately what being a simp looks like in a relationship, and it is very disrespectful for a man to do those things. So please comment below what you think about this video. Do you agree? Do you disagree? And like the video if you liked it, and please remember to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And keep your eyes open. I'll be doing an interview with a couple ladies tomorrow night. They're part of a movement called #walkaway. It should be interesting, so keep your eyes open for that too. So thank you very much for watching.